Back, everybody, to Yarn in Sports. My name is James Irvin. My first day of junior year in high school was today. So if I'm a little tired and not tired, I apologize. But does the off season ever really stop in the NFL? No, it doesn't. Huge rumors, huge players want to be traded. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. Michael Thomas has apparently requested a trade from the New Orleans Saints. Wow. So, of course, we're going to read off his stats a little bit. We're going to look at some teams who are in the running for, who maybe need him more. And then, just obviously realistically wise, fantasy wise, the Packers, I'm not including because I feel like Devontae Adams is coming up on a pay contract. He's going to need to be paid. We brought in Randall Cobb, MVS and Lazard. Winfrey is apparently balling out in camp. So knowing the Packers, they're going to cut him and make Aaron Rodgers unhappy. So hope that doesn't happen, of course. But these are in no specific order. I'm just going to leave it from 1 to 5. No specific order. Teams that were 4, it's not like the 4th team I think is going to get them. These are just teams that I do think are going to get them. So, let's read his stats. Michael Thomas, of course, in 2020 played 7 games, 40 receptions, 438 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a 72.7 catch percentage. Not the lowest of his career. Lowest of his career was in 2017. I think that was like a 69%. But this was definitely the second lowest of his career. Obviously, not a good year for him. The whole story of this Michael Thomas thing was, from what I understand, he liked to tweet saying the Saints forced him to play in the playoffs so Drew Brees could get a ring, and now they're mad at him for being hurt. And I think that's what he thinks is going to happen. The Saints are obviously going to spell it as he wanted to play. If Michael Thomas knew he wasn't hurt and they forced him to play, that's terrible. If Michael Thomas knew he couldn't and they still forced him to, that's bad, right? Obviously, you don't want that to happen. That's not good on the Saints organization. But we know a bunch of young athletes like that. We know a bunch of athletes that know, hey, I can play, even though when they probably shouldn't. This is looking more like the Saints forced him to play to try and get Drew Brees that final Super Bowl ring, and now he had the surgery and he's going to out a few months, and the Saints are mad at him for being out. So that's what I understand. I don't think the Saints are mad at him for being out. I think they're more frustrated. Maybe Michael Thomas didn't lead on how bad his injury was. Who knows? But moral of the story is, the end of the story is, Michael Thomas may no longer be on the Saints as he has requested a trade. So, 5 teams that could use him. Number 5 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Their number 1 receiver is a rookie who hasn't played a snap in the NFL yet. Well, Jalen Reagor or J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or Greg Ward. No, it's Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is going to be a beast. The Slim Reaper. Watch out for the Slim Reaper, everybody. He's going to be a beast out there in the NFL. And he's the number 1 receiver. Hurts needs people to throw to. Philly, sacrifice a few picks, sacrifice a starter maybe, and go get a true number 1 receiver for that team. Common trend you'll notice is none of these teams have true number 1 receiver. They may have really good wide receivers. An outlier to this may be the team we'll talk about here in a little bit. But, just the Jags. Philadelphia needs a number 1 wide receiver to have any sort of success. Devontae Smith hasn't played a snap in the NFL. We have no idea if he's going to be good. Obviously, Arcega-Whiteside hasn't been good. Reagor has been disappointing. Well, he's played 1 year, so let's give him a little time. But when you drafted him above Justin Jefferson, yeah, not a great look for you guys, Philadelphia. So, obviously that. Up next is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this actually is probably the best receiving group out of the receiving core, out of the teams that mentioned. DJ Chark, Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault are good, but let's be honest, Michael Thomas is an upgrade over all of them, especially Marvin Jones. I know you just signed him in the offseason. I know you want to bring him back. And it's a good receiver for Trevor Lawrence to develop with, but when you can get him a guy like Michael Thomas, who I know I may give all its crap, calling him slant boy and all that stuff like that, he's a top 5 receiver in the league. He just is, because he's that good. But obviously, you don't want Marvin Jones, right, to be your long-term number 1 option. If you can get a guy, you can flop Marvin Jones, maybe a 2nd-round pick, and go get Michael Thomas from the Saints, that would be huge for Trevor Lawrence's development, and it would be huge for the Jacksonville Jaguars, especially competing with the Colts, who when they get healthy, they should be a pretty good team. The Titans, who we know are going to be a pretty good team, and you'll never have to worry about Houston ever again. Up next on the list is the Miami Dolphins with Will Fuller suspended. Will Fuller's not a bad option at all. Will Fuller is good. I wanted the Packers to trade for him. Glad they didn't, though, because now he got suspended. But glad with Will Fuller suspended, Jalen Waddle you draft, but he hasn't played that. And then Devontae Parker, he isn't bad, but I feel like Michael Thomas would be a huge upgrade over Devontae Parker. I don't think anyone would argue that. Tua throwing the ball to Michael Thomas, I also think MT would look phenomenal in a Dolphins jersey. So that would be interesting. So yeah, I think Michael Thomas would be a huge upgrade over Devontae Parker. So it would be Thomas, Waddle, and Will Fuller when he gets healthy, or maybe trade away Will Fuller instead. You got Thomas, Parker, Waddle. Either way, it's a pretty good receiving core no matter who you flip, because Michael Thomas is a huge upgrade over all of them. And then last, but certainly not least, is the Baltimore Ravens. Hollywood Brown hasn't been the guy they all hoped he was. Rashad Bateman was just got hurt, so that's bad. Apparently he's going to be out for a couple months, so it's looking like a Michael Thomas situation. That's not good, because that's Lamar Jackson's. That was supposed to be his guy. That was supposed to be their guy to upgrade this receiving core. Now, you do have Sammy Watkins, so he won't be bad. But week 1, Sammy Watkins, we know, is a different beast. But after week 1, he kind of falls off, right? That's jokes, obviously. But Rashad Bateman's supposed to be that guy to be their future number 1 receiver. He was supposed to be the guy. And I like Rashad Bateman a lot. Missing a few months is going to hurt. And Baltimore, you are right there in your Super Bowl window. Buffalo's only going to get better. The Patriots are revamped. The Chiefs are going to be around for a while. Josh Allen just got paid a ton of money. He's going to be there for a while. He's going to be the guy in Buffalo for a while. Miami should be getting better. And then that's not even talking about the Cleveland Browns, who are in your own division. Pittsburgh won't stay terrible forever with their track record. And I think Cincinnati is probably going to take a lot of steps up, especially with Burrow and Chase. Improve that offensive line a little bit, and that defense got improved with the Sam Hubbard side. But, yeah, you're going to need to make plays. You're going to need that number 1 guy. You imagine Lamar Jackson and Michael Thomas throwing to each other. That would be an awesome duo. That would help boost your team. And you know what? You do that, you win that division. Right now I got us Cleveland. I think Baltimore wins that division if they get Michael Thomas. It's a huge step up from their current receivers. Huge step up from Hollywood Brown, really. And it's a huge step up from Sammy Watkins. Rashad Bateman, I still feel like was their guy. I know they felt like was their guy. I like Bateman a lot. I wanted Green Bay to draft him. Got Amari Rodgers in the 3rd round. Second or third. One of those, but it wasn't the first. We got Stokes instead with elite speed. But Bateman can be their guy. And I still think he will be their guy once he recovers from this injury. You need someone now. Your Super Bowl window's now. You're not paying Lamar Jackson enough, although I do think he's the next young quarterback to get that contract extension. If not him, then Baker Mayfield. Lamar Jackson is going to dominate this league for years to come, providing any injuries. Okay, I think Lamar Jackson will be the top quarterback in the league. You got to get him talent, wide receiver talent. Mark Andrews isn't bad, and he's been their number 1 receiver. Mark Andrews has been the number 1 receiver. With the Bateman injury, it only makes more and more sense now. They go out and get Michael Thomas. Make that trade for Michael Thomas. I thought you guys would go get Julio. Titans would be it. I would have loved Julio in that black Ravens jersey. Oh man, we can only just dream. Go get Michael Thomas. It just makes too much sense not to go get Michael Thomas. It's like getting a deal on shoes. Like you see it. Like, it's on sale, and they're nice shoes that are usually $100. They're going for $60. Get it. With the Julio Jones trade value, what would Michael Thomas trade value be? Go out and get Michael Thomas. Go out. You got your young superstar quarterback. The offensive line isn't terrible. Your defense is going to be improved. You just need wide receivers. And then Michael Thomas wants to trade. Obviously, go out and get Michael Thomas. So, 5 teams that I think are do it. Remember, Michael Thomas had a down year last year. He's not only slant boy, but he is a top 5 receiver in the league and will be a huge upgrade over any wide receiver who doesn't have either Hopkins or Devontae Adams or Julio Jones or Tyreek Hill. It's just simple as that, because those guys are all on the same level as Thomas. Some are, 2 of them are better, other 3 you can make arguments for. And I did go watch my top 5 receiver video, link in description, by the way, if I remember. Put it, or I can just put a card right here. Did you do it, James? Okay, just checking. Probably didn't do it, but it's okay. Those are the 5 teams I think are going to get Michael Thomas. Whoever he does ball out with, I think he'll be good. Remember, all these guys have quarterbacks that can ball out. Patriots, Cam Newton, we've seen what he's like at his prime. Eagles, Jalen Hurts would be a lot better with Michael Thomas. Dolphins, too, would be a lot better with Michael Thomas. Jags, Trevor Lawrence hasn't played yet, but if he's as good as we think he is, which is Andrew Luck type level, and Andrew Luck was phenomenal when he was playing, be really good, Michael Thomas. And then the Ravens, we know what Lamar Jackson can do, and I think those numbers would be even better with Michael Thomas. I can't stress this enough. Baltimore, well, if Michael Thomas is actually on the trade block and wants to be traded, go trade for Michael Thomas. That's it. Thank you for listening.